Hi all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as the title suggests, I am talking about the 100 Heads Art Challenge that I decided to do, which is the first time I've done it. Now technically I completed this before Inktober, I just never got around to filming or editing it until after Inktober. So apologies about that, but you will see some of the portraits in here that I used as references for the very first portrait, for the faces that I used in the Inktober challenge. So if you're interested in that, that's where you'll find them. Okay, anyway, day one. Day one I did 5 heads and I was really pleased. I was so naive at this point. I thought, oh, this challenge is going to be really easy. I've done 5 heads already. There's only 95 left to go, and wow, was I silly. So technically this challenge is supposed to be done of doing 10 heads over 10 days. Generally speaking, they're supposed to be consecutive. I did not do that, clearly. I did 5 on the first day, and I also didn't do this one day after the other. Obviously I work full time, having the time to do that is just exhausting. Inktober was hard enough trying to do one drawing and inking every single day, and again I played catch up on a few days as well. So this was no way going to be something that I'm going to do in 10 days. But day one I started off really happy with the fact that yes, I was getting this started. I did half a head here because I am petrified at messing up eyes. I always find once you've done one, you then do the other, and it just always messes up. And this one was one that the very first face I did, I messed up completely, so I painted over the top. It's the only time I actually did that. All the others, all the mistakes and things like that, I've just left in here. But yeah, oh, if you can hear that, I'm sorry, that's the neighbour's dogs, they're going mental. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I painted over it and did this in white gel pen. So yeah, day one, feeling mega positive about this whole experience. Little did I know. So going into day two, again another 5 heads, and honestly this is probably my favourite spread out of all of it. I love the aesthetics on it, I like how bright and colourful it is. I'm particularly proud of this head of, you know, whether you know him as Jean-Luc Picard or Professor Xavier. Brilliant actor, absolutely brilliant actor, and I was just pleased that I actually rendered him well enough that I can look at him and know exactly who he is, and not just because I drew it, like because I actually personally feel like it's quite a good face, and it just gave me a lot of confidence. But it was also the day I did my maths where I then realised, holy heck, if I only do 5 faces per page, then it's going to be 20 pages of this 100 heads challenge. And that kind of panicked me a bit because I do not like that. I like having variety in my sketchbooks. I don't like having things that are so close together or being the same thing. So yeah, a little bit worried about that. But moving into day 3, I actually upped the ante and I did 10 faces when I got around to doing this. All of these are done, actually I forgot to mention, with these. I think that's in focus, yep, Bic crystal pens. I actually got the idea from Zeke's lunchbox. She uses these in her sketchbook. So I picked up a pack and I thought, what better way to do it than by doing this art challenge. And it also forced me to not be able to rub out and redo the faces or try and render them too perfectly. The idea of this was to start drawing faces without the fact that I can rub them away, to force myself to become better at doing faces and be more confident with my mark making. So yeah, so those are the pens I used. Anyway, going back to this, I did 10 faces, so I actually did up to these blue faces on this second page, and I was really pleased because I managed to fit in more than 5 faces, so I was really happy. Now for some of you that may have noticed, I've used this face in my Inktober piece, as well as this one as well. These were done, I believe that's week 4, and this one was week 3 of my Inktober challenge. So as said, I have used these as quite a lot of reference. So this was one thing that I loved about the art challenges. I now have 100 heads to use as reference for when I want to be drawing faces, which is great because it means I'm not trawling through the internet for hours trying to look for the right thing or things like that. I can look at these and use a mixture to put together a face in the position that I want. So that's something that I strongly recommend. But it is also the day that I realised I do mouths all with the same, and like you'll notice it here as well when I did day 4. Day 4, I actually managed to get a lot more heads done. I did 17 faces, but as you'll notice, all these lips look so similar, and it was such a shame because I just feel like you can get a lot of expression in mouths, and I wasn't doing it. So something I really want to improve upon is mouths and being able to improve upon them. So there'll probably be a hour in my sketchbook study session on just mouths, because I think I personally need it to improve my portraits. Still on day 4, doing all of these faces. Again, trying to keep on with that last theme of where I had rows of colour. No, columns of colour, and now I was doing rows of colour, just because it kind of broke up the way it was looking, and I really liked the aesthetics of this. This is also another piece that I used in my not my Hundreds Heads, my Inktober piece. And something I also discovered was it's a lot easier if you've got men with beards or people with wrinkles, because it's a lot easier to build up character and life in a face than something that's very plain and youthful and doesn't have much to work on. So that's something I have actually come to love, is older people and beards. They are the best. Okay, so day 5. Day 5, honestly, I went a little bit crazy. I ended up doing so many faces. I did 29, which is the most faces that I ever actually did. And I think it was honestly because I had a day off, and I just kind of banged it out because I just thought I need to get this done. I think by this point I had already, because obviously I wasn't doing these days in order, I think it'd already taken me over a week. No, when did I start this? 23rd to 29th. So yeah, it'd already been a week, and I thought technically I've only got 3 days left. I ended up taking longer. Obviously I work full time, it's gonna happen, so I just tried doing as many as I could. In all honesty, on this page, because I was rushing, I think this one came out really badly, but I love this one. She just reminds me of like an old witch. Like, it was so cool, and I just think the colour palette on that one was pretty good. So yeah, pleased with that. But yeah, not so bad. This is still day 5. Like I said, I really got a load done. Did some more, was squeezing in more faces, so I actually got 9 to a page, which I was really pleased with. Actually no, was it more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, I actually got loads to a page. I'm actually shocked at that. I didn't realise I got that many to a page. But yeah, so I did pretty good. But again, you'll notice that some of them, where I was rushing a bit much, I wasn't doing amazingly well with rendering these properly. So that's one thing I learned, is because I did so many in one day, as much as I was motivated and I was happy to do it, towards the end of that day, I was just rushing. I won't lie. The last few pieces for day 5. Honestly, I really enjoyed doing my little bearded men, and yes, I counted that one as one face, even though you can just about see it. But yeah, I really do love beards. I think they were so cool. That's pretty much all I had to say. I think, let me check, because I actually wrote notes for all these. Yeah. But yeah, honestly, it was at this point after doing the 29 where I felt like, okay, I need a break from doing all these faces, and I wanted to do something different. But I think that's also why I was trying to do so many, so that I would then move on to something different afterwards. But yeah, day 6 is when I started using watercolour, because I thought if I change up what I'm doing, then it will re-motivate me and get me through this last lot of faces. So day 6 I did another 17. The watercolour process made it a lot longer, but it was really nice to have colour on a page. I really enjoyed that. It was just something that I just, yeah, was just super pleased at, and I'm really pleased how this one turned out, and that also inspired the mummy piece, and I love this piece just like with her glasses and things. So yeah, I was just really pleased with how this turned out, and it was fun to have some colour. But as you'll notice, this is actually days 6 and 7. I had started to get a bit sloppy with my watercolour, and this face, oh my god, I don't even know what happened with that face. But yeah, so I just kind of got a bit sloppy with it because I was kind of nearing the end. Although this one I'm really pleased with, and I am actually going to be doing a piece based around this one, like an actual full painting on it. But I was really pleased with that. And then the final lot is on day 7. Technically this ran over into day 8 because I added the last lot of watercolour to it then. This one was Frankenstein, if any of you realise that, from my Inktober week 4. He inspired Frankenstein, just because when I put the grain down on it I just thought, yes, that is Frankenstein. But yeah, overall, again, it was just getting a bit messy with this, which was a shame, because there are a few faces, like as a face I quite liked, like this one and things like that, but I just think I messed them up a bit too much. And these 3 I had done in watercolour, but I hadn't cleaned my brush off properly, and don't ask me why. I think it was more just, hey, I'm at the last 3 faces, it's almost done, and I just completely wrecked them. So then I tried going over the top in acrylic, and basically it was just a train wreck. But no, in all honesty, I was just really happy that day it was all done. Technically this took me over a week and a half, as I said, but it worked out as 7 to 8 days of actually doing faces and things like that. So I was pleased with how that worked out, and I thought I made good time. I'm happy I did this challenge. I've definitely learned a lot, and it was important for me to be able to do this challenge, and it improved my faces and things like that so much, and my confidence in being able to do them, because I didn't allow myself to use pencil at any point. It's just improved that. But I do need to definitely work on mouths and still eyes to a certain degree, although I have done an eye study, and I think if I'd taken my time I would have done better with that. But yeah, so 100 heads challenge, honestly harder than what I thought, but I'm really pleased I did it, and I definitely think it's a worthwhile challenge for anyone to do, just to get into the habit of doing art challenges and just expanding your skill set as well. And this is something that definitely helped with that, as well as building up a really nice like backlog of pictures that I can use to create future portraits. But yeah, I hope this wasn't too rambly. If you've enjoyed this, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. But yeah, that's it. If you've taken part in any art challenges or have any others, let me know, because I've actually really enjoyed doing art challenges. From doing the 100 heads to then going straight into October, it's been a really fun time where I've been able to expand my skills and just gain a bit of confidence in being able to do certain things. So yeah, so if you've got any tips on any other art challenges, or even how do you find art challenges? Are they a bit too stressful? Do you find you get anything out of them? But yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one, which should be next week, fingers crossed. But yeah, otherwise take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then.